Please take your seats. The Vice Chancellor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome everyone of us to the 128th Inaugural Lecture. As you all know, Inaugural Lecture is a forum where every professor pays his or her debt. And so Professor Cecilia Olunwa Ekwueme is about paying her student. Before going to the crux of today's matter, permit me to recognize members of the high table. May I recognize the Vice Chancellor of this institution. As you all know, the first female Vice Chancellor of this great citadel of learning, Professor Florence Obi. Can we put our hands together for her? Also to be recognized is the Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, Professor Eno Chris Nta. Please put your hands together for her. The Deputy Vice Chancellor Academy is also here present, Professor Angela Oyoita. Put your hands together for her. The Deputy Vice Chancellor Research, Linkages and Collaborations, Professor Peter Okafor is also here present. Can we put our hands together for him? The Registrar of the institution, Mr. Gabriel Igbe, is also here present. Please put your hands together for him. The Librarian is also here, Professor Anedit Utui. Can we put our hands together for her? May I also recognize here present the Chairman, Committee of Deans, Professor Ani Ajake. Please put your hands together. And please may I respectfully recognize the 128th Inaugural Lecturer, a Professor of Mathematics Education and Dean Faculty of Vocational and Science Education. She is no other person than Professor Cecilia Olunwa Ekwueme. Please put your hands together for her. She will be properly introduced in the course of the lecture. A citation reader is also present, Dr. Alexander Isin Timothy. Can we put our hands together for her? Dean Faculty of Vocational and Entrepreneurial Education, Professor Arigo is also here present. Please put your hands together for him. Permit me to recognize erudite professors here present and academic doctors, past inaugural lecturers, all professors here present, Chairman, Unical Ceremonial Committee, Professor Chris Umamo is also here present. Please put your hands together for you and welcome, sir. Members of the university community, and please permit me to recognize everyone from the faculties of education. You've seen them in numbers. Please put your hands together for them. You're all welcome. Members of staff from the faculties of education, Malabites and Malabersis. Malabites and Malabersis? Thank you so much. At this point, may I recognize the husband to the inaugural lecturer, and he is all the person and Professor Pat and Equipment. Please put your hands together for Saki and bring to the top. The welcome, sir. That is the inaugural lecturer's law. Also to be recognized are the inaugural lecturer's children. First is Mrs. Nena Priska Asogwa. Please put your hands together for her. Dr. Kelechi Felicitas Chuku, put your hands together for her. Engineer Chimeme Martin Ekwueme, your name is here. You're here, just stand and wave. Barrister Mrs. Ibianiju Marietta Chidobi, please put your hands together for them. Engineer Chuku Peter Ekwueme and Mr. Mwachuku John Ekwueme. Can we put our hands together for them? Plenties are here, very plenty. Reverend Father Francis Ofion, there are plenty. Please put your hands together for them. A former classmate, Dr. Alexander Isin Timothy again, and her siblings. She said she had just one sibling, but he's late. But the wife and the son are here, Mrs. Felicia Ogu and Mr. Ebuka Ugu. Please put your hands together for them. You're welcome. At this point, may I now hand over the microphone to the registrar of this institution, Mr. Gabriel Igbe, to please continue with other segments of this inaugural lecture. Can we put our hands together for him, please?
Ladies and gentlemen, for once of time, let me go straight to invite the chairman of this great occasion, Professor Florence Bank-Wobi, to take her opening remarks.
principal officers here. Principal officers here present. The chairman committee of this, our inaugural lecturer, they and her darling husband and family members. Let me just recognize the 9th Vice Chancellor of the University of Calabar, Professor James Epoke, who is here with us. Deans, professors, heads of departments, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We are here again today to speak grammar. And the lady who will be speaking to us today is our dear sister, is our dear friend, is the Dean of the Faculty of Science Education. She is a professor, like we will be told, of mathematics education. Many of us, while we were in primary schools, when we hear about mathematics, we start crying. And I think I was worse in for it. When I went to Teachers Training College, and in my year 1, we had somebody who was teaching us arithmetic. The Teachers College would do arithmetic, not mathematics. And each time the teacher was walking in, I sneak out. I go and stay somewhere. When it's done, I walk back to the class. I look at the timetable. Once it is arithmetic, I will just leave the classroom. I thought I was being smart. I didn't know I was undoing myself. And then one of these good days, the lecturer too has watched me and has known my trick. I just came in as I was saying, excuse me, so I blocked away. Say, Florence, go and sit down. I was trapped. At the end of the day, he told me he wanted to see me in the staff room. And I went to the staff room, and he said to me, do you know that if you don't pass arithmetic, you will not get grade 2 certificate? That was the first time I was hearing that was a compulsory subject. There are 3 compulsory subjects: arithmetic, English, and education. And he said, yes, you need to be very serious about this. I started struggling to develop interest in it. Then in my year 3, I got a copper from the North who came to teach us. And he saw that I wasn't doing very well in arithmetic. And so one day he came to our house and said, can I see the timetable, your personal timetable? Then they teach us to develop personal timetable. I used to be very good in history, literature in English, and I had in my timetable history every day, literature in English every day, and all the good subjects I loved, they were appearing. I had no arithmetic on my personal timetable. And the teacher said, how will you pass a course when you don't read it? I said, sir, but how do I read arithmetic? He said, you read it. I said, read it. How do you read it? And he started teaching me how to read it. And he started talking to us how to read it. For those who know Ogoja, TTC, just the houses where students used to stay. There used to be very big compounds where students are everywhere. And this man comes in the evening, sits down, a compound, to begin to teach us how to read it. And we developed interest and started reading it. And at the end of the day, I had a credit in it. But then, when I got to year 4 and year 5, we had one textbook written by one Essien, who was the arithmetic teacher. In fact, people read his book. I can't remember his initials. He talked about arithmetic as fun. That you teach it because you teach children how to crack formula, that is why we fear it. This man comes to the class, the teacher we had in our year 4 and 5, who was using that textbook, comes to the class and wants to teach us something. He will start playing with us, we begin to dance, we begin to take steps, we are measuring steps. Say, tell me how many steps did you take? Everybody is busy taking, we wouldn't know what he wanted to do with the steps. At the end, he was teaching us formula. And it became so easy for us. Today, we are here for the professor of mathematics to tell us how mathematics can be taught and seen and learned as fun, so that we no longer will dread it, because it is also a very compulsory subject that if you want to come to the university, I'm happy the secondary school children are here. If you want to come to the university, you must have a credit in mathematics, you must have a credit in English. Even if you want to read English, you must still have a credit in math. So it's compulsory. We need to learn it. We need our teachers, math teachers, to change their attitude on how they teach maths. And stop teaching us how to crack formulas. And let us use fun, play to discover the formulas ourselves. Let me call our friend and our sister, because she's been waiting for us. But let me tell you why we are late. All of us say we'll go for you. So that is why we came late. And we were receiving correct. What did you see? You go and say, no, let all of us go for her. And because we wanted to go for you, that's why we are late. So let me invite them to take a day so that a friend will introduce her to us. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Madam Bishi, that is a very big testimony. But I have a different because this is the first time in my life to hear somebody say mathematics is fun. And I'm very curious, very, very anxious to hear. On this note, I want to now respectfully invite somebody who will tell us more about this professor of mathematics. And so permit me to invite Dr. Alex Timothy to say something about the Inaugural Lecture.
Vice Chancellor of the University of Calabar, please permit me to leverage existing protocol and permit me to invite the celebrant. Permit me to invite the celebrants, the 128th Inaugural Lecturer, Professor Cecilia Olunwa Ekwueme, to please stand. You know, it's a rare privilege to be the citation reader of your former classmates. When she was born, there was no quota and there was no boom. Just an ordinary birth. And here we are. Such exquisite excellence is here. Please, can you applaud them? Like all wonderful things, this was began with a tentative step. And she began her first tentative step at the community primary school of Boko Agu in Enugu State. There, the foundation of this superlative achievement was laid. This educational journey, which began in the rural pastoral community, progressed to the urban girls' secondary school in Nsukka through the comforting hand of Professor Ekwueme. There she dazed our lecturers and our tutors by her extraordinary brilliance. There was no doubt that that tentative step inevitably would be destined for the ivory tower. Subsequently, She proceeded to the prestigious University of Calabar, where she was found worthy in character and learning and conferred with a Bachelor of Science degree in Education Mathematics. A few years afterwards, she received from the same university a master's degree in Education, Test and Measurement. Propelled by academic excellence, she proceeded to the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and added to her profile a PhD in Mathematics Education in 2006 and became a lioness. Besides her brilliance, Professor Cecilia Olunwa Ekwueme has had a thriving and a fruitful professional career. She began her teaching career during the National Youth Service, where she was later retained in September 1988 at the Premier Indigenous West African Peoples Institute, Calabar. She later joined the services of the University of Calabar International Secondary School, from where, after her master's program, she joined the Faculty of Education, University of Calabar. Since her transition to the tertiary institution as a lecturer, she has sustained a seamless leap from one rank to the other, culminating in her promotion to the rank of Professor of Mathematics Education in 2016. Professor Cecilia Ekwueme is a committed scholar. She excelled in all aspects of her career as a researcher, teacher, and administrator. Her numerous research endeavors have resulted in over 72 journal articles, several books and monographs, both locally and internationally. She has presented scholarly papers at over 40 international and local conferences and over 17 workshops. As evidence of her contribution to human capital development and scholarship, she has supervised about 60 undergraduate projects and dozens of master's and PhD dissertations. She has also served as an external examiner to several institutions within the country and outside this country. In 2015, Professor Cecilia Ekwueme was appointed the pioneer head of the Department of Science Education. Under her headship, the department had full accreditation in all her 4 programs. Then in 2021, she was appointed the acting dean of the Faculty of Education with over 500 academic staff. She was also the chairman of the Board of Governors of the Unical International Demonstration Secondary School. The students are here. It will interest you to know that her short period as the acting dean of the Faculty of Education brought remarkable achievements in the faculty as she midwifed the creation of 3 more faculties. And that made her the last dean of education. Afterwards, Professor Cecilia Ekwueme served as the pioneer dean of the Faculty of Vocational and Science Education, which was further split into 2. She is currently the pioneer dean of the Faculty of Science Education. Our celebrant and inaugural lecturer has also undertaken other academic responsibilities outside the University of Calabar. She has served as external examiner to local and foreign universities at both undergraduate and graduate levels. She has also assessed over 10 candidates for promotion to the professorial cadre in 11 universities. As a professional, she has maintained a robust membership of over 20 learned societies. There are too many to name. They are in the book. Our Professor Cecilia Ekwueme is happily married to the renowned scholar, publisher, petrologist, and entrepreneur, Professor Ekwueme. Their marriage is blessed with children and grandchildren. This is a story that began about 5 decades ago in a quiet, unassuming village of Uwani, Enugu State. It is a story of distinctions by a distinguished scholar who is distinguished by exquisite intelligence, distinguished by remarkable brilliance, distinguished by superlative excellence, distinguished by outstanding humility, distinguished by vibrant youthfulness, and distinguished by a breathtaking beauty. Ladies and gentlemen, behold the prodigious, the phenomenal, the mathematical guru, Professor Cecilia Olunwa Ekwueme.
Giver of life and maker of heaven and earth, the Vice Chancellor, the Deputy Vice Chancellor's Administration, Academic, Research, Linkages and Collaboration, the Registrar, other Principal Officers of the University, the Provost of Medical Sciences and College of Postgraduate Studies, Chairman, Committee of Deans, Deans of Faculties, Dean of Student Affairs, Directors of Institutes and Directorates, very distinguished professors and members of Senate, other academic staff of the university, non-teaching staff of the university, my Lord spiritual and temporal, Royal Highnesses and Reverend Ministers of God present here, heads of departments, distinguished invited guests, all associations present here, my dear family members, members of the press and technical crew, students, Malabars and Malabresses, ladies and gentlemen. I'm greatly honored to stand before you all today to deliver my inaugural lecture. First, I want to thank God for the enablement. I also want to thank our amiable Vice Chancellor, Professor Florence Banko Obi, the first female Vice Chancellor of this great university, for this opportunity. I equally want to thank my beloved husband for the enduring support and unquantifiable role he played in my life and career. I want to give a little story about me and mathematics. My flame for mathematics started as far back as my primary school days in 1970s. I always occupied the first seat each time we had mathematics tests, as our teacher would rotate our sitting arrangement each week according to performance in weekly tests. Though I did not struggle to answer questions in the class, but our teacher would call me up to solve given problems on the board for the class. Then in primary 5, I was invited by my uncle, who was the head teacher then, to teach one of our primary 5 female teacher who was preparing for entrance into TC2 program. It gave me joy that my effort was not in vain as she gained admission that year. And I also gained exposure to mathematics concepts. It will also interest you to know that this same mathematics attracted my husband to develop interest in engaging me at the tender age of 12 years. This is because performance in mathematics was one of his criteria for the woman he would marry, so as to bring mathematics gene into his family. And God answered his prayers. The connection was made possible through my uncle, who served as a headmaster in my husband's village. My husband then took up my education after my primary 6. At the secondary school, I had a reading group of 5 girls that were nicknamed Mass Physics due to our performance in those subjects. However, it did not mean that we never failed any mathematics problem, but the secret was persistence and flame. We also had strong encouragement from our mathematics teacher, Mr. Esite, of blessed memory. He advised us not to give up after one failed attempt at solving problems in mathematics. The love of mathematics continued with the encouragement from my husband, who advised me to put in for mathematics education in my JAMB to actualize my initial dream of being a teacher. Some friends, however, tried to discourage my husband, arguing that mathematicians are mad people and I could be harsh to our children. Thank God, he was never discouraged till he put me through school to actualize that dream of mine. Honey, thank you. The joy he expressed the day my promotion to the rank of a professor of mathematics education was announced showed it all. His expression read, "I'm done. The only thing remaining now is your inaugural lecture." Today, I have settled all those debts. My journey with mathematics continued as I taught briefly at the state school secondary school, WAPI, as a youth corper in 1988, and thereafter retained at the same school. Later, I was employed as a pioneer mathematics teacher at Inaugural International Secondary School in 1995. I enjoyed teaching mathematics, and most of our family, friends, and colleagues brought their children to me for extra lessons in mathematics. Notably, Professor Patrick Ebong, all the 4 kids passed through me. Dr. Mrs. Oman, all the 4 children passed through me. The former VC of Uyo, Dr. Essen, the 2 kids also passed through me. And I would say most of them are engineers, doctors, and name it. I had awards as the best mathematics teacher at both WAPI and Inaugural International Secondary School. This was given by Mathematical Center, Abuja. I later joined Faculty of Education after my master's degree as assistant lecturer in 2001. One thing I discovered all through my school days about mathematics is that mathematics is filled with fun. But because of misconceptions about its concept and how it works, many tend to hate it even before attempting it. Most challenging students have in comprehending mathematics is attitude. This indicates that if we take mathematics as fun, it will reduce the misconception and our mindset about the subject. I know that so many people hate maths just by the name, even without attempting it, or by stories told by other people when they have not tried it themselves. We can see that even children use patterns and numbers in their early days. You can see a child that have not even started working is already manipulating mathematics, arranging and rearranging things to show you the importance of mathematics in our lives. But the attitude is what kills the performance in mathematics. You can see what the child is manipulating, even when he has not even known how to talk or to do anything. You can see that you can enjoy mathematics if you have a positive attitude, you have passion in mathematics, engage in mathematics, collaborate in mathematics. But all this will be possible with positive attitude. Let's just look at a small play to show us how important attitude is in learning mathematics. You can see, yes, hard work is good, knowledge is good, but none of them adds up to 100% except attitude, which shows us that a positive attitude towards mathematics can earn you 100% in the subject. Mathematics misconception. The misconception we have about mathematics could come in form of the lessons we have received from people, our past experiences from our teachers and peers. Like I said, even without attempting it, people have told you mathematics is hard, mathematics is this, mathematics is abstract, and then you hate it. You don't even want to attempt it. Also, our disposition towards the subject matter. We have three big questions here. One, can mathematics be taught and learned in a fun way? Can mathematics be taught and learned the right way? Can mathematics be taught and learned devoid of misconception? We are going to answer these questions in this lesson. What is mathematics? Mathematics is an art, is a language, is a process of critical thinking, is practical. And mathematics deals with so many different areas like division, linear, subtraction, fraction, numbers, and name it. Some facts about mathematics. Mathematics involves study of numbers, quantities, shapes, and patterns. Tools for creation of knowledge. It's also a language in which God has written the universe. In my book, you will see it. Over 150 quotations of mathematics in both Old and New Testament. It's also a hidden thread that connects and organizes the universe. Also, school curriculum reflects its role in contemporary society. You can see the beauty of mathematics. You can see the way it is going from small to top. That is, mathematics is hierarchical in nature. You start from the basic and then go up to the abstract. We also have the book of wisdom that says that you have chosen to measure, count, and weigh everything you do. And this, which is coming from the Bible, shows the position of mathematics in everything that we do. That there is nothing we do without mathematics. We sing mathematics, we dance mathematics, we eat mathematics, we work mathematics. Everything you do revolves around mathematics. And the earlier we start seeing mathematics in everything we do, the earlier we'll appreciate the fun that is associated with mathematics. We travel around the world guided by precise mathematical calculations based on the position of the sun. That's a GPS satellite. It's mathematics that they use in direction of movement. Precise measurement also given in the Bible about Noah's Ark, Solomon's temple, all points to the dimension, to the divine creation. You can see all the measurements, specifications, they are all in the Bible. There are some common misconceptions about mathematics. Even though everything we do revolves around mathematics, but there are a lot of misconceptions. Some order of operation. Some believe that order of operation does not matter when solving mathematics. We have an acronym we call either BODMAS, PEDMAS, or PEDMAS. Some teach it in such a way that children will not know that we have 4 basic operations in mathematics: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And addition and subtraction are the lower order operation, while the multiplication and division are the higher order operation that could go together. We also have misconception about zero. Some misunderstand the concept of zero as nothing in all contexts, which is not true, depending on its position in the context. You can see the example on the board. If it is in front, you don't count it. But if it is taking a position, it gives the place value of any number you are calling. Also, fraction misconception. Many think that a larger numerator in a fraction always means a larger fraction. People feel that, like, we have 3 over 8, we have 3 over 8, 3 over 5, and then 8 over 15. And once you see 8, somebody will feel that that fraction carrying 8 is larger. That is a misconception without considering the denominator. We have more misconceptions. Some believe that mathematics ability is an innate talent, that there are certain people that mathematics is meant for and is in me. Whether I read it or not, I will know maths. This is not so, because mathematics ability can be developed through practice and effort. Some believe that mathematics is all about the right answer, getting the right answer, which is very, very wrong, because the basic understanding of the steps involved are very important in doing any mathematics problems. Some also believe that when you have mistakes in mathematics, it is bad. That is even when you will learn more, because when you have some mistakes, you will do it again and you will never forget it. Because we have a Chinese proverb that says, what I hear, I forget. What I see, I remember. And what I do, I understand. Which means that mathematics is more of doing and seeing than hearing. When you hear, after hearing me today, if you don't do any sum today, you will forget. But if you engage in doing it, it will be difficult for you to forget it. Some other beliefs about mathematics, that mathematics is only for calculating to pass exams, and that's why some students, listening students, you stay where you are and ask someone, what was the answer you got? And the person will tell you it's 50. Oh, I also got 50. And then when the result comes, you will get A and you will get C. You will not say they gave me C, and then he had A, which shows you that mathematics is not just the answer. The answer carries maximum of 2 marks, but the steps involved are very important. And these are the misconceptions both students and the teachers undergo. And that brings the performance of students in mathematics very low, because they are always scouting for the answer to get the right answer. Some feel that mathematics is only for the smart and the gifted. Who said so? We are all gifted and smart. It's just the development. When you develop the mathematics activities in you, you will have it. It's not meant for any special person. Some also believe that we don't have any real world application in mathematics. When everything we do revolves around mathematics, even as we are seated here, you will see the arrangements, they are all mathematical. And I can't stay here and try to chop down a step. I have to gauge and watch the distance before I will do the jumping. That is application of mathematics. And in everything you do, there is nothing you do, even in greeting somebody. You cannot stay here and greet somebody that is in the library because you know that the person will not hear. You gauge the distance and then know the echo that you gauge to the person. They are all mathematical. Some also believe that mathematics does not need laboratory. Even in secondary school and in the university, they say even mathematics wants laboratory. Yes, maths needs laboratory. Just like what I said, maths is more of activity. We do a lot of activities in the laboratory about mathematics. We use models, we use different shapes, we play a lot of games, and they are all done in the laboratory. And you can see, you will see some of them, and you play along with me, and you believe that there is no subject that needs laboratory more than mathematics. Some believe that mathematics is for boys. We can see the girl asking for help from the boy. If you tell me, I will tell you that girls do mathematics more than boys. That is true, yes. You do it a lot, you do it in the kitchen, you do it everywhere, you do it for your family, and all those things. So, ladies are supposed to know mathematics and do it more than the boys. There are some important things about mathematics. It's two population. I have said it and it's used by God. God is the first greatest mathematician because everything that he did in the Bible, he uses mathematical concepts. You will see it about 5 pages in my book where anything that is done in the Bible refer to the mathematical expression, either addition, subtraction, multiplication, commutativity, additivity, and everything, transformity, and all the concepts in mathematics. They use it in the Bible. You will see them and then see the quotations. Even the medical doctors, the CT scan they do and the MRI, they will tell you how they take the dimensions for them to get the 3 dimensions of whatever they are taking. So mathematics is all around us, and mathematics is important in every field of endeavor. Efforts by so many mathematical associations have been to organize seminars and workshops to acquaint people with the fun in mathematics, and then how mathematics relates to our lives, and then how we cannot do without mathematics. So some of these associations have tried with workshops and seminars. Now, let us stop. And I'm sure you are ready with your paper and pen. I want us to play the form of mathematics. Please get your paper and pen. We are not solving maths. Please calm down. Good. So, nobody should do expo. First, you can see so many things that are being done with mathematics. So many. We do IO. You see so many of our local things. You see the nice building that is communicating mathematical concepts. The builder is just building, but there are a lot of mathematical concepts that are being communicated there. You can see the mathematics lab. We removed some of those models from the mathematics lab when we organized International Day of Mathematics. Great mathematicians! Yes. Are you here? Yes. Thank you. Now, ready? You can see, before you do the sum, just calm down. Before you do the sum, I want us to reason together. You know, we use real objects to communicate maths, just to make fun with maths and make it more real. Look at that man, though the diagram is not very clear, but I will demonstrate it with you now. Just listen, you do with me. This is a concept taken on in senior class from SS1. I want to communicate the concept, but before I even mention the concept, I will tell the students what to do. I will stand, you are sitting. Just look straight. Don't look down, don't look up. Just look straight. Are you looking straight? Yes. If you look straight, you see a exactly the mark where your eye is. Are you seeing it? Yes. Good. From that place is a straight line. That is a straight where your eye is. Now I will tell you, from there I want you to see, look at the ceiling. Look at the ceiling. What did you do to get the ceiling? You raise your eye up. There's an angle you make, raising your eye up. And that angle is what we call angle of elevation. And now, when you tell the student that way, they will make that angle. Now join it with that straight line where your eye fits on the board. And it gives you a right angle triangle. And you know, before then, you must have been introduced to trig ratio, where we have the acronym SO, TOA, sine, cosine, and tangent, and then you use it to solve everything you are given. The same thing, you get your eye straight, and then you want to look down to see the ground. You cannot see the ground looking straight, can you? You have to curve your eye down. Curving your eye down, you made an angle. And that angle you made is what we call angle of depression. So you simplify, angle of elevation, angle of depression, bearing used to be one of the difficult concepts in our schools. Am I correct? But when you bring it down here, even when they get home, they will tell that raise up your eye. You will raise, you say, you know that you made an angle raising up your eye. And then you will see that they will be practicalizing on that and making it as a play. But already they are conceiving a very difficult concept. Because once they are able to get it, they will know which one is angle of elevation and which one is angle of depression. And they will now know whether it's a sine or cosine or tangent that they will use to do it. Now, look again. Look at the board. Can you see two students? If not because of time, I would have demonstrated with the students we have here. But let's just use the demonstration here. We have a boy and we have a girl. Then just tell the students, list all the things that the boy has. Are you listening? Let me help you list. The boy has a shirt, he has a trouser, he has a tie, he has a shoe, he has a stocking. Good. Then let us list what the girl has. The girl has a gown, he has a belt, he has a tie, he has a shoe, he also has stockings. Now, I will tell you, now that you've listed, what have you listed that is in the boy that is also in the girl? Good, you are good students. I'm hearing you say tie, belt, shoe, stockings. Good, you say okay. Today we are going to represent this using what we call a Venn diagram. That's it. Now, you can represent it in a Venn diagram, and you can take on your father, your mother, your brother, or your sister in the house and say, go to the parlor, go to my room, look at the things that are in the parlor, list them. List those ones that are in my room, and then tell me the ones that are similar. From here, the concept of Venn diagram, the union of two sets, the intersection of two sets will not be a problem for the students because we demonstrated it. Now, let's move on. You see, we can also use songs and what we call magic games to communicate mathematics. I want to do one. Listen, you answer me. 10 green bottles standing on the wall. 10 green bottles standing on the wall. If one green bottle accidentally falls down, how many bottles standing on the wall? Answer. 9 green bottles standing on the wall. Thank you very much. You are good students. And you continue until they will tell you no green bottle standing on the wall. Then you see that you communicated subtraction. to the students. They are singing and making fun with mathematics. Already 2 concepts have been communicated: subtraction and the concept of zero. We also have one. M-A-T-H, M-A-T-H. I love maths. I love maths. It is so exciting, very interesting. I love maths. I love maths. M-A-T-H, M-A-T-H. I love maths. I love maths. It is so exciting, very interesting. I love maths. I love maths. LCM, LCM. Least common multiple, least common multiple. I will say the multiple. I will say the multiple. Multiple of 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and so on. Then another student will pick up and say the multiples of 3. You can go on, or you just stop at those 2 and tell them, okay, you listed the multiples of 2, and the other person has listed the multiples of 3. Is there any number that appears in this 2 that also appears in the 3? They will say yes. Maybe they will mention 6, they will mention 12, they will mention 18. Good. 6, 12, 18 are all common in the 2. But among these 3, which one is the least? Good. You now tell them, therefore, the LCM of 2 and 3 is 6. That is the first. You are using play, and they have already communicated the concept. Instead of coming to the board and saying, today we are doing LCM and HCM, and you start measuring and solving. This is just first principle for them to understand what the concept is before you communicate. Because of what of time, let's just play one game. Just write 2 numbers you like. Write 2 numbers you like. Just get the 2 numbers. Multiply the first number by 2. Are you there? Add 5 to it. Multiply by 5. The answer I will ask you, you give us the answer. You give us the answer. Have you written the 2 numbers? Then multiply the first number by 2. Did you notice anything? Let me ask the class teacher or the class prefect. Ma, did you notice anything? We are getting back. There are 2 numbers. There are 2 numbers. Good. You are getting back your 2 numbers. That's a magic games. But in the process of doing that game, you are already communicating addition, you are communicating multiplication, you are communicating subtraction to the student. They are busy enjoying the game, but you are already communicating mathematical concepts to them in form of games. We also have the age. If you want to know somebody's age without the person telling you, just say, okay, write down your age, multiply it by 10, add 5 to it, multiply by 10 again, add your month. Like my month is June, I will add 6. If your month is January, you add 1. If your month is December, you add 12. September is 9. You add 9 to it. After that, you subtract 50 from it. And when you subtract 50, you will see that the first 2 digits is your age. And then the last 2 digits becomes the month. You have so many people getting somebody's house address. If you want to know somebody's house address without the person telling you, or even knowing so many of them are in the book. Even where if I want to know the page, the word, and the line you have in your district. These are some of the mathematics games we play in the lab. And then you think that they are just playing games and they are getting interested, but you are communicating concepts to them. Now we can see the beauty of mathematics. See the beauty of mathematics in patterns and shapes, in crafts, and so many things that we do. I said somebody that has mathematical knowledge, if the person makes beats here, it's better than somebody that don't have or hates mathematics. I have a student at Uniport, and she passed through us first and second year, and the beats that she makes, she combines the models, that's the shapes. She combines it, and nobody makes beats like her. See the beauty of mathematics in everything that we do. We have the beauty even in our houses. You can see a house, but you can see beauty of mathematics. You can see a code. You can use it to teach a child. And say, see that house, up looks like a code, then the door looks like a rectangle, and then the edge of the house looks like a circle, and then you use it to communicate. The other one is what we call a geometry, which you can use to form different shapes. You can see different shapes that are formed there. So the beauty of mathematics is seen in everything, even in our different professions. So many professions, they make use of mathematics. Mathematics is seen in all of them. Like a barber, you can just think that it's barbing hair, but it's taking geometry and then trigonometry to determine how to cut the hair length, pattern, density, and even the shape of the scalp. Have you ever watched somebody making your hair? You will give the person two attachments, and he will look at your hair. If it is a small hair, he will shape, he will partition, he will multiply, and then do the attachment, divide it in such a way that he will divide it. And then by the time you finish, you will not remain any attachments unused. That is the beauty of mathematics in everything. There is no profession that don't make use of mathematics. See, even in the house, instead of just giving them an ordinary clock, you can just be testing their intelligence and then their mathematical abilities by giving them the clock that has mathematical clock that is made by only 9. When you want to ask them the time, they will do small arithmetic before they tell you what the time is. You can see a tailor. You have seen them measuring you, maybe the waist or the length or whatever. They are not going to keep the cloth like that to cut. They are going to do some measurements, some statistics, and then take quarter of whatever they've measured, and then fold it and measure it and cut. And by the time they cut and open it, it will give you the full shape. That's what a tailor does. So they make use of mathematics. There is no profession that don't make use of mathematics. You see a farmer too makes use of mathematics, and so many of them. And somebody in the kitchen, when they say that women do a lot of mathematics, you can see them. You have 3 people in the house, you cook 2 cups of rice. When you have 5 people, you are going to take some ratios and proportion. So many of those activities are there in the book and even in the appendix that you can take and do some exercises and see the beauty of mathematics in everything that you do. Instead of just giving them the formula, just like the BC said when she was talking. I just say, yes, this is what we advocate, and this is what we discourage. That people don't cram mathematics, you don't memorize it. You need to work on it and then get attracted to mathematics, because our interest is in developing interest in mathematics and then how the interest will be sustained. So you can see every profession has mathematical activities that they engage in. So many of them are in the book. Perception and remediation of misconception in mathematics. Mathematics learning fund can enhance and develop students' positive attitude towards learning and critical thinking skills. Mathematics fund also helps to improve mathematics achievement of students. Proper utilization of effective fund field strategies in teaching of mathematics also enhances student participation in learning. Mathematics hence increases the motivation and creativity of the student. Reduction in the anxiety level of the learners. My contribution. Pictorially, you can see my contribution. Somebody that have play for maths. I love maths a lot. And I get worried when people say they hate maths. I get worried when each time people perform poorly in mathematics. So I engaged in finding out why this poor performance in mathematics. Could it be the teachers? Could it be the students? Could it be the society? Could it be how the students are solving the problems? Could it be how the teachers are teaching what they are using to teach? I entered into so many studies, and my area of study mostly is error analysis. I critically scrutinize student scripts at both junior and senior secondary to find out how they solve problems. And the results of all those things showed that students lack step-by-step solution of the problem because they are craving for the right answer. And craving for the right answer can only give you 1 or 2 marks at most. So I now collected all the researches I've done on error analysis and see that the teacher too has a part to play, because the teacher has to teach the students directly on how to solve problems to earn all the marks. I also had a study on their participation in WAEC, junior WAEC and senior WAEC marking. As a WAEC examiner, we sit during coordination and then look at the nitty-gritty in solving problems, and then the alita, that's the different solutions to a particular problem. And so that it is very important for a teacher, a mathematics teacher, to attend WAEC marking coordination, even if you are not going to mark. The coordination has shown that teachers that mark WAEC, their students perform better than students that their teachers don't mark WAEC. So one of these is where I was interacting with students. I gave them something to do to find out how they solve problems. And you see that so many students, they are only craving for the answer. Some walk from the answer. So I engaged in organizing seminars for mathematics teachers and students. And also through Mathematical Association of Nigeria Cross River State Chapter, I was their chapter chairperson. And then we started organizing workshops to go to schools to educate our mathematics teachers that even if they are not going to mark WAEC, it is important that they attend WAEC marking coordination, because WAEC marking coordination exposes the nitty-gritty that is involved in solving a problem to get all your marks. Because you can see that the correct answer gives you maximum of 2 marks. And if you don't have the bonus method mark and you don't have the method mark, there is no way you can get accuracy mark. But students don't understand that. So we encourage the teachers to come out and attend WAEC marking coordination so that they can go back and educate their students on how to solve problems. We organize International Day of Mathematics every year, and we call teachers and students of mathematics to tell them how they can make fun with mathematics. And I must tell you that the testimony is that so many of our teachers, mathematics teachers, are making use of the local materials, the methods that we have told them, the strategies that they have to use to attract students' interest. Because our interest is getting students enjoy mathematics, getting them attracted to doing mathematics, and sustaining that interest in mathematics. And I must tell you that we have positive results, both from teachers and students, that performance has enhanced for those of them that are using some of the things that are we are teaching them during workshops. These are all workshops that we engage in as a result of the research work. The workshop organized by Mathematical Center Abuja for Cross River and Port Harcourt. It was in Cross River here. This is a workshop outside. That's the workshop organized by National Council of Teachers of Mathematics in US. It's based there. So most of those things expose us to the problems of teaching and learning mathematics, and we organize workshops based on these studies that I've made. Our thoughts, as was read by the citation reader, and I've done a lot of research work. I've written some books, even book on making mathematics fun. And I've also pioneered, in fact, pioneer is associated with my name. I've pioneered so many things as was read. Then community development. I want to highlight this because we are engaged in mentoring, taking my mentees to schools to organize seminars and workshops for teachers and students on how they can apply mathematics to real life situations. Also, mathematics advocacy, monitoring and evaluation in several states of the Federation. As chairman of Mathematical Association of Nigeria, MAN Cross River State, we organize workshops and seminars during International Day of Mathematics every year. And by next year, March, we are still going to organize another one. Great mathematicians. Great. Now, conclusion. Teachers should teach mathematics in a way that students value the beauty of mathematics. A good teacher is trained to bring a willing student from a low level to high level performer in mathematics. Understanding of the true nature of mathematics and dispelling some of the misconceptions mentioned in this lecture, students can develop deeper appreciation for the subject and relevance in their lives. Acknowledgement. The Vice Chancellor, ma'am, I wish to acknowledge and appreciate all who in one way or the other have contributed to my success today. Firstly, I want to appreciate God Almighty who has kept me alive till date. His blessings, guidance, protection, and provisions cannot be quantified by just thank you. I adore you, Lord. I'm deeply thankful to my late parents, Mr. and Mrs. Matthew Ugu of blessed memory. Despite being your only girl child and last born, you raised me with love and discipline, never spoiling me. I also honor my only brother, Anselm Ifanichukwu Ugu of blessed memory, who was always there for me. May his soul rest in peace. I wish to appreciate, especially thank my beloved husband, Professor Ekwueme, who is my God's-given man and has been my pillar and mentor. Honey, thank you for all your support and encouragement all through my education. You gave me hope of aspiring to be a professor, and you followed it up with good mentorship. I remain forever grateful to you. To my beloved children, Nena, Kenechi, Chimeme, Obianuju, Dochukwu, and Nwachukwu, thank you for the love, support, and comfort you gave me. I'm sure they are hooked on song and listening to us. Your presence fills my life with joy, and I cherish all the moments we share together. To my grandchildren, being represented here by Davido and Emma, I love you all. They always keep me company, lightens my heart, and reduces my stress. I owe special gratitude to my primary school teachers, especially my late uncle, Mr. Dominic Ugu, who introduced me to teaching mathematics at the age of 11. To all my secondary school teachers, particularly my principal, late Mrs. Amekuna, and Mr. Robert Ezike, who have left an indelible mark on my life. My university lecturers in mathematics department, physics department, and faculty of education, and many others who inspired me along the way. I say thank you. I can't mention names because all the names are mentioned in my book, but there are still special people that I must mention their name. My colleagues, especially those from Faculty of Science Education, have been a great source of support. I also acknowledge the support from colleagues in other faculties of education and a host of other colleagues of mine. I wish to appreciate all the heads of departments in my former Faculty of Education and Science Education, my head of department in my new Faculty of Science Education, especially my own head of department, Dr. John Oku, who was my master's and PhD student, but today is my head of department. I also want to appreciate my management staff in the Faculty of Science Education and my former sub-deans in the 3 faculties that I was dean, and all the colleagues in my Faculty of Science Education for the cordial working relationship which has enhanced our collective productivity and progress. I want to thank Professor Olunwa especially. Thank you for being there for me, especially during my PhD program. My master's and PhD supervisors, late Professor Nancy and late Professor Anthony Ali, who were always there for me. I appreciate your fatherly advice and patience exhibited during the course of my master's and PhD programs, respectively. I say thank you, and may your souls rest in peace. As a pioneer of the Department of Science Education, I worked under Professor Florence Bagobi and Professor Cecilia Chibura, who were deans of Faculty of Education. Thank you for giving me that cordial working relationship that gave me a baseline experience in administration. I equally want to thank my fellow deans in the faculties of education for the working relationship experience while working with them. I want to especially thank our amiable Vice Chancellor. Don't be angry if I mention her so many times because she has shown something great in my life. I want to especially thank her that she helped me to discover leadership potential in me when she appointed me as acting dean of Faculty of Education in 2021. Thank you, ma'am, for finding me worthy and suitable to serve in your administration as acting dean of that great and large Faculty of Education. Pioneer Dean, I remain forever grateful to all of you. I also want to thank the Deputy Vice Chancellors for the cordial relationship they accorded me. My special thanks also goes to Professor Barry Su, the 7th Vice Chancellor who employed me as an assistant lecturer in 2001. Thanks also to his dear wife, Dr. Mrs. Omotunde Ibarisu, for her kind words of encouragement and support. I also want to appreciate the 9th and the 10th Vice Chancellors, Professor James Eboge and Professor Zana Pago, that provided an enabling environment for me to work as acting head of Department of Science Education under them and had the 4 programs in my department fully accredited. I appreciate my other special colleagues from other universities. To my spiritual leaders, I appreciate my parish priest and my parish priest from home, Father Benigunus Nonso Eze. Thank you for coming. I also thank other Reverend Fathers and Reverend Sisters present here. I thank in a special way Right Reverend Professor Nioye Egbe, Bishop of Anglican Communion, for his understanding and goodwill. I thank in a very special way my committee members, and I appreciate my lovely staff at the Dean's office for being there for me each time I call on them. I appreciate Committee of Deans, Senate members. I also appreciate the information unit, especially Mr. Eyo Efyon and Mrs. Mary Ire, for always anchoring my programs specially and beautifully too. I appreciate the Senate members, Committee of Deans, Directors and Heads of Department. I'm immensely grateful to all my friends and prayer partners for their encouragement, especially Queen of Angel Prayer Group of Catholic Charismatic Renewal of Nigeria Central, and my association, Usukakwenu. Alano. Igbo. I also appreciate my Unical Igbo women and UCTH women that are here. I also appreciate my special marshal of the RS 6.2 Calabar Road Safety Corps. I thank the director and staff of Human Resources for their contribution for today's success, especially Mr. Monica Nku, who has always been there for me to ensure that this presentation is a success. To all that have come here, I appreciate you and say thank you. Finally, to all lovers of mathematics, let us make fun with mathematics. I also want to appreciate my parishioners. They are all here in their different uniforms. I appreciate Unical International Secondary School students. I thank you all for being here. Mathematics is not, I want you to take home this. Mathematics is not a spectator sport. You must be actively involved. Mathematics can be enjoyable and engaging with positive attitude for a meaningful everyday life. Honorable Vice Chancellor, with this viewpoint of mine, I'm sure I've convinced you that mathematics is filled with fun. Come with me, let us read maths, let us think maths, let us eat maths, let us play maths, let us save mathematics. Thank you.
I like the last words. In our secondary school days, we can confidently say, with all these points of mine, I hope you are now convinced that mathematics is fun. Let us put our hands together for Prof. There is indeed nothing that we can do that does not involve mathematics. Prof, we are really proud of you. At this point, I want to request that the Vice Chancellor step out mathematically and receive a copy of this lecture notes.
I'm presenting this book, which is filled with fun and devoid misconception and place in mathematics, to the Vice Chancellor, Professor Florence Banko Obi. Thank you very much. On the same note, on behalf of the University of Calabar management staff, students, and the rest of your well-wishers, it is my singular pleasure to present this memento to you as the 128th Inaugural Lecturer of the University of Calabar. Huge congratulations to you.
Thank you. Let me now invite the Chairman, Committee of Deans, Professor Anim Ajaki, to give a vote of thanks. And we put our hands together for Professor Ajaki.
My dear Vice Chancellor, let me stand on the already established protocol. I am fulfilled. Our inaugural lecturer, you are already made mathematics fun. And look at the way we are enjoying You made everything. If you don't have a book of mathematics made easy, you should start writing that book, mathematics made easy. You know, I listened to her attentively. There's one point that really touched my heart. That mathematics is spiritual. Yeah, she made a lot of quotation from the Bible. Mathematics is spiritual. Mathematics is also indigenous. That means that everything that we do is mathematics. Even as you are loving is mathematics. As you are going to the toilet is mathematics. Everything that you do is what? Mathematics. I'm so happy with that fulfilled. So I'm going home with something. I know that all of you are going home with something. Let's say a big thank you to our dear sister, Professor Cecilia Olunwa Ekwueme. Oh, I wanted to change that name. Thank you very much. Thank you, but she has done well. She has done well. She led and she made the thing look like not reading from the book. Just simplifying it, make it very easy. This is inaugural lecture. Today we have seen the inaugural lecture. You know, it's not the one that you go and read from book. And she even gave us assignment here and we were participating with her. And everything was very smooth. Thank you so much. God bless you. Secondly, we want to thank our management, the Vice Chancellor, our dear Vice Chancellor, and the management team all here for still providing this platform of inaugural lecture. And I'm sure this platform, many who have been attending this inaugural lecture have learned so much. Just like we have been encouraged here today, that let all those misconceptions not make people be afraid and fear mathematics. Take this message to your house, your children, that mathematics is very simple. Mathematics is very easy. Just make it very simple and make it very easy, and you will live with mathematics. We want to also thank our distinguished guests that have come all over Nigeria to share with us in this our inaugural lecture, and you have also made this place colorful. Since you have heard this message from us clearly, for those of us who are practitioners, we are in the medical sector, we are teaching in primary school, we are teaching in secondary school, we are teaching in higher institution. Let's take this message back to our classroom and make mathematics easy, make mathematics fun. Don't make mathematics so difficult. Sometimes because of the teachers we have, they will enter classes and you see children, see people die sign and leaving the class. They will what you are presented to us, mathematics is just fun. Let's make mathematics fun. Thank you very much. Let me thank all of you and God bless you in Jesus' name.
Ladies and gentlemen, permit me at this point to invite the chairman of this occasion, who is the Vice Chancellor of our great university, Professor Florence Bankuobi, to say a few words to close this event. Can we put our hands together?
The inaugural lecturer, I want to appreciate you for the beautiful presentation this evening. I want to join the registrar by saying that the chairman committee of deans are appreciating our audience, and like you were told at the beginning, this is the capping, the climax of the professorial position. If you have not given an inaugural lecture, your professor is small p. It's not capital P. I stand here as one who has given the 92nd inaugural lecture of this university. So my professor is capital P. Today she has paid her debt. Professors that are here, who are yet to give their inaugural lecture, know that your professor is lowercase professor. please prepare and come up and tell us how and why we should be calling you Professor. It is the icing of the professorial seat you occupy. You don't tell me that. I know, unfortunately, some people retire here without giving their inaugural lecture. It's the worst academic crime a human being can commit. To yourself, the worst academic crime. Don't ever allow it before you. You must give your inaugural lecture before you take the exit stage. And on that note, I want to welcome you and invite you people to the next inaugural lecture. That will be the 129th inaugural lecture of the University of Calabar in the next 2 weeks. That lecture will be given by the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, Professor Cecilia Olunwa Ekwueme. Please, she has worked so hard for us in these past 4 years. We need to show that by making sure that we make this hall too small for all of us on that day. At least let's appreciate the time, the energy she has put into rendering quality service for our great university. On that note, I expect you next 2 weeks. Thank you and goodbye.
I think we can do better than what we just did. Please put your hands together for the Vice Chancellor. Just as she has said, the next lecture is going to be on November 13th, precisely. So please, we expect the hall to be full. Secondly, we'll take snapshots. Members of the high team will step down and have a snapshot. Then we'll recess from there. Members of the high team will take the lead. Please remain where you are. Thank you so much. We'll take the University of Calabar immediately after the snapshot.